Hi, my name's Ali. Welcome to the Yoga Home channel. Thank you so much for your support. If you haven't subscribed, I invite you to do that. So today we're going to be learning about balancing and some key points when it comes to balance postures in yoga. So there are some postures out there that you may feel intimidated by because you don't know the modification to it. So I'm going to show you today a posture called, and this is a mouthful, don't worry, you don't have to say it, Utthita, hasta, padangusthasana. So in Utthita, hasta, padangusthasana, there's different options to build yourself up to get there. But first, I just want to explain, in balance postures, the key points to really stay grounded and centered is finding a spot that you can look at. And in yoga, we call that drishti, so a focal point. Now that could, for you, be just straight ahead. It could be something on the ground, preferably something that's not moving, okay? It's not kind of moving all over the place, because wherever that goes, your eyes are gonna follow it. So I'll find a spot, and then I wanna tune into my breath. Okay, and usually Ujjayi breath is a really nice help for this. Ujjayi is in and out through the nose, and you create a little restriction in the back of your throat, so it sounds almost like an ocean. So you're, okay, and that helps you stay focused, stay connected, stay grounded. So you have your drishti, your Ujjayi, and then rooting down through the standing leg, whichever the balance posture will be. Now, today we're doing the Utthita, hasta, padangusthasana. So I'm going to transfer the weight to my left foot so that I can feel bone upon joint stacking. Okay, so stacking, ankle, knee, hip. Stacking so it feels nice and aligned and connected. And now hands to the waist is a really nice foundation, because you don't want to be doing this when you're in your balancing postures, right? This is a nice place to ground. So just settling your hands on your hips, and then bending your right knee. Now, if you want, you can go into tree pose if this pose isn't working for you. I'll show you the full pose in a second, but I want to take you into the modified version of it first. So the knee bends up towards, your flexion of the hip and flexion of the knee. So your hand just rests maybe on the knee somewhere. Now, this is the first part of the Utthita hasta, because it has A, B, C, and D. It goes in Ashtanga yoga, you go into 4 different parts. But we'll just do the basic forward and then to the side and then back again. Okay? So you're here looking at your spot, focusing on your breath. And you can stay here for a few breaths if you want, focusing on this length in the side body. Good, and I like to flex my foot too. Keep a nice grounded connection from ankle to knee, so it's nice and lined up. And then I'll start to open up to the side. Now, what's happening here is this femur bone is doing this external rotation, so it's rolling outwards, not in. Okay, we're going out so that we can do the lateral, right? External rotation. So my hand kind of slides down a little bit on the inside of the leg. Meanwhile, the spine is not being compromised. So we're not trying to go like this, especially when you get to the full pose. Okay, so really lengthening up through the trunk and the side body. Good. Okay, so now after holding a few breaths, then you can come back to center and release. And of course, going to the other side. Now to full pose, please be mindful of your spine. If you're trying to go into it and you're trying to reach for your foot and going for flexibility first, as opposed to your balance, then you're off of your practice. So go right back to the modified. So to start this, You can use your 2 fingers, first and middle finger, on the inside of your leg, grabbing onto the big toe. And then lengthen. See how I reached down for my toe, but then I brought my chest back up? So this is another version. You can stay here and just focus on the length of the spine. And then if you're nice and open in the hamstrings and you can actually lengthen this leg out, then you're pressing through the foot and straightening up through the knee. Drawing this shoulder back and this hip down, because we don't want to pull the hip up. So draw the hip down, okay? And meanwhile, your hand still stays here. Now, same thing, to go up to the side, this is during an external rotation. And we're going up diagonally, not out to the side just like this, okay? So it's an external rotation and like an up diagonally, right? And then of course come back and release. Whew. Always balancing out, doing the other side. Oh, that one's intense. But take your time, give yourself grace, go in baby steps. Work on doing some forward bends just to open up the hamstrings, opening up the hips, and eventually you'll get there. Let me know how you felt in the comments after you did this. I'll see you on the next video. Namaste.